everybody.
Welcome back to Pick a Book with Auntie Marcella. This is my vlog, and I am just helping families pick through books. Our last two episodes, we dealt with a grade K through 2 child, how to interact with books with K through 2 using the writing to respond process. And we're going to continue today with Anastasia Davis.
Hi.
We are going to help you navigate through for a grades 3 to 5 child. So here's the workbook, here's the text, and of course we will walk you through how to ask questions or how to just engage your child while they read on a grades 3 to 5 level. Anastasia is going to read, and it's all yours, Anna.
Compassion. Making the world better with the compassion by Karen White Porter. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Doug walked to school every day with his friends. They went up 2 hills and passed a yellow house where a little black dog lived. They would wave hello to Gregory's uncle, Dr. Quiche, who was often seen outside vacuuming up multitudes with his email detector. That helped him measure feelings. Doug did not know who lived in the house they passed, but every day he stepped and looked at the dog behind the fence when he walked with his friends to school. His friends would keep walking as he reached down to pet the dog. He noticed his kind black eyes and fluffy fur, and the way he shook with joy when he patted him. The other kids were too busy to notice. They were in a rush to get to school. On the way home, he would see and hear a little black and gray schnauzer with the warm black eyes. Black as if to say, "Come play with me." Doug's friends were listening to music on their cell phones and could not be bothered to stop to see how cute the dog was. But Doug did every day on the way home from school. He would crouch down to pet the little dog. One day the dog was in the hot sun out all day with no water. He saw the curtains rustle and felt eyes looking at him. And the dog as he gave him water. Doug emptied his water from his water bottle and the dog licked his hands dry. When Doug ran to catch up with his friends, fall came and the weather was cooler. Doug ran ahead while his friends played in the leaves. He went down the hill and up a hill and to the little house. Fall came and the weather was cooler. Doug ran ahead while his friends played in the leaves. He went down the hill and up a hill and to the little house at the top of the hill to check on the dog.
At this time, we will continue the process with Miss Karen White Potter, who is the author of Compassion. We will use her book to continue how to utilize the writing to respond process with a grades 3 to 5 child. I cater to homeschooling parents as well.
Yes.
So I usually tell parents, so that's why I always say school and home educators, because an educator is anyone who passes on information, and that could be in a school, a grandma, a mom, anybody. And so I recognize that. So the writing to respond process, for those of you who looked at our K through 2, step 1 is always identify. And so this is what the grades 3 through 5 workbook looks like. And this is what the inside page looks like. So we have your identify. So we have the little magnifying glass to let them know that when you see that magnifying glass, you're actually trying to identify. And what are they identifying? They are looking for the title of the book. And in this case, the title of the book is
Compassion, Making the World Better with the Compassion Emotitude.
Nice. And then we also want to find out who is the author. That's the next thing we're identifying. And this is
Karen White Porter.
And she happens to be the illustrator as well. So remember, we are looking for the illustrator, the title, and also the author. And we have all three of those. And that is step 1. Now, step 2 would be to summarize. Use 2 to 3 sentences to tell us the short version of the story. Summarizing is not paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is telling all the story over in your own words, but summarizing is telling us the short version, the main idea. And so Karen told us a while ago what the story is about. So it's about a young boy who sees a dog being mistreated, and then he feels a particular way about it, and he does something. So he goes ahead and he helps the woman. And he was judgmental at the beginning. He thought that people were just ill-treating the dog, but he realized that the lady was not able to help. So short version, a young boy who goes to school every day, sees a dog being mistreated, and he does something about it. He shows compassion. But the most important part of the writing to respond process is react. What we want to do now is to ask students to evaluate using their feelings. And so we have here, react to what you read. And on our chart, we say, how do you feel? What does the story, what feelings come through when you read the story? Does it make you, do you feel surprised? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you perplexed? What is that feeling? And if that child says a feeling of surprise, we want them to tell us what about it made them surprised. So for example, if I were to take that book and I were to ask us child, how did you feel when you found out that the dog owner had a disability? If that child says, oh, how did you feel when you read the story? And the child could probably say, I felt surprised when I found out that the dog owner had a disability. And now you have, so here's what's happening. The child has told you how he or she felt, and they have gone into the text to give you evidence. So if they had just said, surprised about what? That the dog owner had a disability, and they would go into the text to find that. And that is the most important part, or most important aspect of the writing to respond process. We could also ask questions that deal with evaluation. Okay, how do you feel about, the whole idea that nobody came by to take care of that lady for 3 seasons? What's happening? Who took care of her? So all of those things that students can start questioning things. And that's where the question would be, how is it that somebody never came to see her after so long? Is she, what's going on? So this would be a place, and this is the 4th step of the writing to respond process, where kids ask things that they think that they don't know. And this would probably be a question. Why is it that no one came to check on her after so long? Is it because that she can take care of herself and nobody decided to come? And so that would be something that I would encourage the kids to probably think why, or maybe ask the author. And that's where a letter to you would come in to find out, well, why is it that nobody came to see Miss Sadie? All right. The other thing we want to emphasize is the next step, which is suggestion. And on our worksheet, we have it looking like just a little word. Suggestion, when we come to that section, kids are learning to do problem solving. they're learning to do research. So a question would be, how else could the other kids in the story, or how could dog get his friends to help take care of that animal? So this is where the kids would come up with suggestions. Well, we think that probably he should just talk to his friends. Maybe they just were too busy on their phones, but if they're being made aware of their environment, probably they would help after all. So these are things that we would expect kids to do. So I am so glad that we could, find ways to actually work together. And hopefully what I really want out of this vlog today is to let parents understand you can do so much with one book. So here is one book. We could take a look at their feelings, and we could also look at their writing. So after the kids would have answered each of these questions, identify, summarize, react to what you read, one question, evaluation, the next thing they would do is to put it together in a paragraph form. So if your child is in the grades 3 to 5, they're beginning to write. And now what they would do is to take their sentences and now put it in paragraph form. So any book, and that's the one thing about the writing to respond process, we do not tell you what to have your child read. You will select your child's reading material based on your child's interest, based on your child's educational level, and based on your own belief system. So here we go again, parents. You have another opportunity to go through the process with your child and upload your video on the bottom of this video, and you can win a tablet. We have extended our date up till August 31st, and we look forward to hearing from you. So like, subscribe, and share until we talk again. Bye-bye.